So in this video I'm going to go over one of the first types of calculations using the mole. You'll need a calculator and a periodic table, and let's get started. So the big idea here is changing grams into moles, or moles into grams, or vice versa. We'll do that for single atoms, molecules, which are covalent substances, and formula units, which are ionic, metal and non-metal. So first of all, we've got this problem: how many moles are in 50 grams of carbon? Well, you look on your periodic table and you can instantly find the mass of 1 mole. The mass of 1 mole of carbon would be its atomic mass with the units grams. Nice and simple. So the mass of 1 mole of carbon would be 12.01 grams. So we're going to use dimensional analysis to solve this problem, and we'll use that for every type of conversion as well. So with dimensional analysis, remember that the information that you're given goes in the top left box. We'll have a conversion in this step, and then we'll have the answer or the solution right here. So I need to change grams into moles, so I need the units of grams down below so I can cancel them, and that's going to give me mole, or the unit of mole up top. So I need the conversion for 1 mole and grams, and well, I can get that straight from the periodic table. 1 mole of carbon would be 12.01 grams, so I'd cancel units. 50 times 1 is 50, and then 50 divided by 12. So I'm going to get 4.16. Moles. So the only unit that I'm left with is moles. So to get an idea of what your value should be, you should look at the mass of 1 mole and then the mass that you're converting, and 50 is obviously a lot bigger than 12, so I'm going to have a value of over 1, so 4 moles, and 12 goes into 54 4 times or so with a bit of change. Okay, so let's go over the reverse process, which is very similar. We're going to change this problem slightly, but let's use a different element. So this time let's use sodium. So we're looking at how many grams would be in 20 grams of sodium. So same sort of method. I'm going to leave this little table up here. That should be moles, excuse me. So that should be moles. So this time we're changing moles into grams. Remember what you've been given goes in the top left corner. We need a conversion here, so we need moles down below. So the conversion of 1 mole of sodium into grams would be its atomic mass, which we'll get from the periodic table. So that's 22.99. So now moles cancels. That should be mole. So 20 times 22.99 gives you 459.8. And this time my units will be grams. All right. So now we're going to use similar processes, but we'll try molecules and then formula units this time. I won't do both of these conversions for every single one because the process is the same, but we will go over lots of examples. And also we're going to throw in a little dimensional analysis, changing units as well. So wouldn't that be fun? So this time we're going to reword this problem, and we're going to start with how many moles spelling today. How many moles are in so this time we've got 2 jobs that we need to do. We need to add up the mass, the molar mass of water, H2O. We've also got to do something with kilograms because the units that are on the periodic table relate to grams, so we need to do an extra step, convert kilograms into grams and then grams into moles. Alright, so the first little step that I need to do is look up the molar mass of water. And so we do this using the following method, H2O. That means I've got 2 hydrogens, so that's 2 times the molar mass of hydrogen, and then 1 times the molar mass of oxygen. I'm going to add those up, so that's going to give me 18.02 grams. So that would be 1 mole of H2O equals that many grams. And we can actually say grams per mole, and the shortcut for the mole is MOL. It's not much of a shortcut. But there you go. Alright, so let's get on to a conversion now. So now we're going to change this number of kilograms into moles, and that's going to take a couple of steps. So 15 kilograms is what I've been given. I want to change that into grams, so I need a conversion between kilograms and grams, and well, I know that a kilo means 1,000 of something, so 1 kilogram is 1,000 grams. Now I can change into moles because I have this conversion. So 18.02 grams are in 1 mole of H2O. So I can cancel kilograms, I can cancel grams. So now what I've got to do is multiply 15 by 1,000 by 1, and then divide that by 18.02. So 15 times 1,000. So 832.41. And that's going to be moles. So that's a big number, but really if you think that this would be 15,000 grams and 1 mole of water is going to be 18 grams per mole, so the values make sense there. So let's do one more example. This time I'm going to change moles into grams, and I'll do it for a formula unit or ionic substance, which is metal and non-metal. But the big idea here is you can use the same process for any one of these 3. So single atoms, you could even do it for single ions as well. You could also do it for molecules like H2O or ionic substances, which we'll do next. So erase that. And this is the process to figure out the mass of a compound, whether it's ionic or covalent. So you add up all of the masses of all the atoms inside that substance. In this case it was 2 hydrogens, 1 oxygen. So we'll do the same thing for whatever substance we are dealing with. So this time let's look at changing moles into grams. So let's say how many grams are in This time we're going to look at sulfuric acid, which is H2SO4. How many grams are in that many moles of that sulfuric acid? So my first step is to add up all these masses. So I've got 2 hydrogens, so that's 2 times the mass of hydrogen. Sulfur is 32.07. I've only got 1 of those, so 1. Well, 1 times that. I've got 4 oxygens, which is 16 times 4. I'm going to add all that up. And I wish I'd done it beforehand, but that's going to be 4 times 16 is going to be 64. So 64. Talk amongst yourselves while I do this. Plus 2.02. So 98.09. So the molar mass of sulfuric acid is 98.09 grams per mole. Probably the idea of rounding might bring up some questions, but if you're, I'd go to 2 decimal places just as a default, just to make life easy. But 98.09 is detailed enough. So all we have to do now is change that number of, this number of moles into grams using this. So the value that I'm given is 4.5 moles. I know that I need moles down below, just like dimensional analysis, and then the conversion goes up here. So 1 mole is that many grams. Moles cancels. 4.5 times that is going to give me my solution. 441. And that's it. So that this video is the first type of conversion that you're going to do, which involves changing grams into moles and moles into grams.